Hi again, everyone. Mr. Cruze here, ready to finish up this quarter 3 test review so we can wrap up the quarter and get started onto the last quarter of the year. Very exciting. Alright. Find the inverse of each function. Well, we know how to find the inverse. Switch the x and y! Right? Yay, yelling into the microphone. Switch the x and y. That's all you got to do. So, x equals 4 minus 3y. And then we have to solve for y, of course. So I would go ahead and subtract 4. You get x minus 4 equals negative 3y. Divide by negative 3. I am okay with you leaving it like this. Again, be aware of multiple choice answers. Sometimes they might write it like this. Either answer is correct. Okay. But this is fine too. Anyway, is it a function? Well, basically, all it means to be a function is if I plug in one x value, do I get one y value only? Well, of course, this is a line. So yes, it is a function. Remember, for our purposes, here in Algebra 2, if it does not have a plus or minus, then it will be a function. Okay. There are other circumstances later in pre-cal that you'll have to talk about, but I don't teach pre-cal, so we're good. Number 24, let's see, x equals 3y squared minus 5. Switch the x and y. Add 5. Divide everything by 3. So y squared, and I'm going to write y squared over here, is equal to x plus 5 over 3. And then you have to take the square root. Well, that should signal some alarms. Whoop, whoop. You get plus or minus the square root of all that. So there's the inverse. Is it a function? Nope, because you have plus or minus. Not a function. Basically, what would happen is if I plug in an x value, I would get two answers, a positive and a negative, and that can't happen. Okay? And the last two, graph each function. Oh, this is easy. Remember how to graph y equals the square root of x? Well, you just make a t-table. And the numbers used for square root of x are 0, 1, 4 and 0, 1, 2, right? The numbers you can actually take the square root of. This is going to be the trickiest part because lately we've been doing logarithms and graphing exponential functions, and so you're used to those t-tables. Well, you kind of have to go backwards a little bit here. Anyway, which way does the minus 3 move it? Well, since it's with the x, you take the opposite of what you see. So you're going to go right 3, which basically means you're going to add 3 to x. Okay? Notice, again, add 3, that's the opposite of what you see. So add 3 to all your x's. Are we changing the y's? Nope. You're not changing the y's at all because there's nothing out there. So there's our t-table. We're going to graph it. 3, 0 is right here. 4, 1. 7, 2, of course, there we graph coordinate grids. Anyway, there it is. You'll notice it only has one arrow. I do not go any further this way because if I try, I'll get square roots and negatives, and that can't happen. So there it is. All right. Cubed root's a little different. Start off with the cubed root of x. Your t-table is slightly modified. Now it's negative 1, 0, 1 and negative 1, 0, 1. Okay. This time, the negative 2 makes you go left 2, and the negative 7 makes you go down 7. So we're going to subtract 2 from x and subtract 7 from our y's. So subtract 2 from all those, and we're going to subtract 7 from all those. So let's see what happens. Negative 1 minus 2 is negative 3. 0 minus 2 is negative 2. And 1 minus 2 is negative 1. Negative 1 minus 7 is negative 8. 0 minus 7 is negative 7. And 1 minus 7 is negative 6. So here we go. Remember, cubed roots look like snakes, right? They look like S's. So let's see. Negative 3. Negative 8. Let's see. Right about there. Okay. Negative 2, negative 7 will be about right there. Negative 1, negative 6 will be right there. And it'll... it's got a little more of a curve to it than I'm giving it credit for. That's probably good enough. Alright. There it is. Remember, cubed root looks like this. Square root looks like this. Okay? There you go. I hope these videos helped. Please share them with your friends. Study, 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 and good luck tomorrow on your test. Happy mathing!